How can one person leave your life and suddenly everything feels empty? Not just the relationship, everything. The weekends feel different. Maybe you used to spend every Saturday hiking with them, and now the trails feel lonely, the joy of nature diminished. Or perhaps your Sunday brunches, once filled with laughter and shared stories, are now just quiet meals for one, highlighting their absence. Your routines feel different. Perhaps your morning coffee ritual involved their presence, a shared glance, a brief chat, and now the silence is deafening, the space beside you acutely empty. Or your evening wind down, which used to include their favorite show or a debrief of the day, now feels aimless and incomplete. Even things you used to enjoy don't feel the same. That favorite restaurant, the movie genre you both loved, they're tainted with memories, no longer bringing joy, but a pang of what was. Even your personal hobbies like reading or gaming might feel hollow because you can't share the experience or discuss it with them. So here's the mystery. Why does losing one person sometimes feel like losing an entire life? By the end of this video, you'll understand the hidden mechanism behind that feeling and why the emptiness is often bigger than the person themselves. Most people think they're simply missing someone, but then they notice something strange. Old hobbies disappeared. You used to paint every Tuesday, but they never really understood it, or perhaps subtly discouraged it. So you slowly stopped, prioritizing activities you could do together. Or maybe your passion for photography faded because they were always your primary subject, and now the lens feels heavy and purposeless. Friendships became distant. Your social circle merged with theirs, attending their family gatherings and friend groups, and now you feel adrift from your old friends, realizing you haven't nurtured those connections independently. You might even feel awkward reaching out, as if you've lost your place. Their world somehow became smaller. You stopped exploring new places, trying new things because your comfort zone was built around them, their preferences, their routines. Perhaps you gave up on learning a new language or pursuing a solo trip because it didn't fit into our plans. And that's when the real question appears. When did my life start revolving around one person? But that's not the deepest problem. The first mechanism is attachment. When someone becomes your main source of comfort, connection, and support, your brain naturally starts prioritizing them. For example, if they were the first person you called with good news or bad, or the only one you truly confided in, even over family or lifelong friends, they became your emotional safe harbor. The relationship becomes the center of your emotional world. You might find yourself constantly checking your phone for their messages, or planning your entire week around their availability, their moods, their needs. Every decision, big or small, starts to filter through the lens of how will this affect us? And that feels like love. But while they become more important, everything else slowly becomes less important. Your career goals might take a back seat because you moved for their job. Your personal growth might stagnate because you stopped challenging yourself outside the relationship. Or your individual passions might fade because they weren't shared or encouraged. You might even neglect your physical health, putting their needs before your own. As Maya Angelou, the renowned poet and civil rights activist known for her work on self-worth and human dignity, said, "Never make someone a priority when all you are to them is an option. Because the more of yourself you place into one relationship, the less of yourself remains outside it. If your happiness, your sense of purpose, your daily schedule, or even your self-worth became entirely dependent on them, then when they leave, those parts of you feel lost too. It's like a building where all the weight was shifted to one support beam. When that beam is removed, the entire structure feels unstable. If you're enjoying these perspective shifts, subscribe to Daily Reset Lab. Now here's what most people miss. The problem isn't that you loved them too much. The problem is that you slowly transferred parts of your identity into the relationship. Your routines. You stopped going to the gym because they preferred staying in, or you changed your eating habits to match theirs, even if it wasn't what you truly wanted. Your morning meditation or evening journaling might have been replaced by their schedule. Your future plans, your dreams of traveling the world became our dreams, or your career path shifted to accommodate their location or ambitions, perhaps even sacrificing a promotion or a new opportunity for the sake of the relationship. Your sense of belonging, your social life became intertwined, and without them, you feel like you don't fit in anywhere anymore, struggling to find your place in groups that were once yours or theirs. You might feel like you've lost your social compass, your emotional stability. They became your sole confidant, your emotional anchor, and now you feel adrift, unsure how to process your feelings or find comfort without their immediate presence. You might have stopped developing your own coping mechanisms. The relationship stopped being part of your life. It became the framework holding your life together. Like a house built around a single central pillar where every room, every wall, every ceiling depended on that one support. That's why the emptiness feels so overwhelming when it's gone. You're not only grieving a person, you're grieving the version of yourself that existed around them. The person who was always their partner, who shared their hobbies, who lived their life, and whose identity was largely defined by that connection. You're grieving the loss of us and the you that was part of us. The pain isn't always losing them. Sometimes it's realizing how much of yourself disappeared while trying to keep them. It's the shock of looking in the mirror and not fully recognizing the person staring back, because so much of your identity was tied to another. It's the dawning realization that you've lost touch with your own desires, your own voice, your own unique spark. A small shift you can try is this. Ask yourself, what parts of my life became smaller while this relationship became bigger? Because that's often what you're actually grieving. It might be your independence, your creativity, your friendships, your sense of adventure, your career ambitions, or even your spiritual practice. It could be the quiet confidence you once had in your own decisions, now replaced by self-doubt. Maybe the emptiness isn't proof they were your whole world. Maybe it's proof you stopped building one outside the relationship. Memorable lesson. One person should be part of your life, not all of it. If this connected with you, watch our next video.